Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Glad to have you here this Thursday, July 6, 2023. Thank you for tuning in. Savings in the bank. A quarter of Americans have few, that's 25% of Americans, have almost no savings in the bank. 1 out of 10 people, which is 10% of the population, has none. Well, let's focus in on that. What is 1/10 of the population of America? Nearly 400 million people. 1/10 would be 40 million people. Have no savings at all. And 25%, which would be like, 100 million people, have very little savings. It says 27% of Americans had some savings below $1,000. I'm going to tell you guys, that large chunk of the population, probably roughly 100 million people, when this depression hits that's being caused by the Fed, they're not going to have nothing because food prices are going to continue to go up. Prices for everything, medicine, electricity. Could be seeing situations like what's going on in France happen. Now, looking over to Germany today, the Rhine River water levels it's declining rapidly. And it's going to be a nasty headache for Europeans' biggest economy, Germany. Dwindling levels. It's a struggle for vessels on their journey inland. It's hard for them to get inland, to get into these manufacturing hubs and stuff like that. It says bad economic news is beginning to stack up too. Final German manufacturing activity numbers for June showed further deterioration, softness that may eventually drag stocks lower. German manufacturers have brushed off weakness in the PMI numbers this year, much like companies in other major European markets. When that resistance finally crumbles, the effects could be stark. Industrials, construction material, and chemicals account for about 31% of the DAX, and car makers about 12%. Now, I've been keeping my eye on the situation in Ukraine with the nuclear power plant. And there's an old saying, no news is good news. So right now, that's where we stand with that. No news is good news. So it hasn't blown up yet or anything like that, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Moving on to other stories here. 8 central banks increased their gold holdings in May. They're buying gold. And what are they buying it with? Well, they just make the money from nothing. They just start up the print and press. Well, actually, now it's all computerized. They just type in a few numbers on the computer and then they buy their gold. So they're buying something real with something that's not real. Good racket. If you can have the law behind you to do it. Because if you were to go out and buy a laser printer and try to duplicate bills and go out and buy gold with them, you'd be in jail. But that's basically more or less what they're doing. But they are they're connected so that they're allowed. Central banks are allowed, and you're not. And they're buying hordes of gold right now. Question mark is why? What do they see that we don't see? Something just snapped. Consumer panic search. They're searching on the internet and Google. People Google stuff. They're searching a pawn shop near me. Why are they doing that? Because everybody's running out of money right now. So you know what the pawn store owners will do, don't you? They're going to start because everybody's going to be flooding in wanting to sell their stuff. They're going to be offering less money for it. Less and less money for it. because they know they got you over a barrel. They know you need the money now. On the other end, they'll make more profits because they won't lower the price on the selling end of it. When you can't get the money to pay back and your item goes up for sale because you couldn't get in there, your pawn slip expired or whatever. On the other end of it, when they put that item back up for sale, you can bet it's going to be higher than it ever was because of inflation. So they're going to be making. It says cash-strapped Americans are panic searching a pawn shop near me. That's because they haven't had any stimmies in a long time, and all that money that they had is running out now and running out fast. In fact, the whole American economy and the whole world economy is getting drained right now. And you see central banks, the same ones that are buying gold. This is austerity. By any other terms, you can call it. What they're putting us through is austerity, and it's going to be very harsh. And in the end, it's going to lead to something monstrously bad. If you want to find out what that is, tune into my Patreon channel. I'm planning on putting a show up there about this, about what's going on here with all this, and where it's leading. And my Patreon channel is only $1 a month. $1 a month. I'm going to tell you guys what. You when you have a hamburger nowadays, when you take one bite of that hamburger, just one bite of that hamburger is equal to the $1 a month, and it really helps support my channel. And you get a whole month of my channel on Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description. But it really helps support my channel because I got a lot of people on, quite a few people. I got over 100 people on Patreon, and it helps support my channel, and I put interesting shows on there. Thank you guys that do support my Patreon. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Anyway, this here is pawn shops. It says that search started surging in January and exploded higher in the last few months to record highs just days ago. Look at it going right up. People need the pawn store because they just can't make ends meet right now, ultimately. So let's take a look now at the markets. Gold price today. We see it took a big clunk down $10.90 at 1904. Taking a look at silver today, $22.57. It's down 54 cents. Big smash on silver today. Cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is 30,080 and Ethereum is 1875 today. So I was on here looking earlier and it was like 30,500. Now it's 30,033. And Ethereum was over 1900 and now it's 1873. So they are going down a little bit today. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 462 points today. 463 points today. It might be this. We're right on the edge of this starting. This deflationary event that I've called a deflationary spike event. Okay. Crude oil today is $71.49. It's down 30 cents on the day. Bonds and rates. And we're seeing climbing yields today. Quite interestingly, climbing quite a bit. The U.S. 30 years at 4%. It's up 5.7 basis points. And the U.S. 10 years at 4.65. And it's up 12 basis points. Now that's a big leap on the U.S. 10 year. That's a big one-day total. Taking a look at the U.S. dollar index today, and it's at 103.46, and it's climbing today. No, it's starting to climb right now. I think it's going to be going up. Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode very soon. And you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.